It was a fairly straightforward business that this client had been running for more than 20 years, quite successfully. It wasn't a huge amount of consideration. And yet, the buyer was buying the shares. So we still had to have a share purchase agreement where there was all the due diligence by the buyer. In a sense, although the business was fairly straightforward, there weren't that many employees, there wasn't a huge amount of contract stuff. There were 4 or 5 properties, for example, to deal with. And all these needed to be dealt with, and our property colleagues helped us with that. So even a small transaction where the amount being paid is not necessarily, mega bucks, still requires a good deal of work on our part. And if it's not on employment contracts, it was on this one because it had 4 or 5 separate sites, and property was the main driver of the due diligence and everything else. So there's always something different. And the client had, was a professional person, had been in business for many years, understood that, there would be a certain amount of work and that he couldn't just simply get his money and sign the stock transfer forms. So he was appreciative of that and our guidance. And it was also the first time he'd actually sold a limited company. So it was new for him, even though he was an experienced businessman. On that particular transaction, we gave the client an opportunity of using some employment-related documents, which would enable him to, retrieve some of his money in a tax-advantageous way. And that's really what we do. We're holistic lawyers. We're not just looking in silos. We're very interested in the seller's business and trying to make sure when we're acting for the seller that they get the best deal possible.